G'day everybody, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build here on Speed Build Sunday, Speed Build Fun Day, Speed Build Someday, one of those. Okay, so today we are building something a little different. This is a house. In fact, it's actually two houses, and they have a bit of a secret, And the secret is going to be revealed. You can see those stairs there down into the basement, and stairs that lead up from the basement. There's a bit of a tunnel, and up from the basement to what will be another house at the back. So my idea for this house was that it was something like, the witch's house from Hansel and Gretel, how she made this really cute gingerbread cottage to lure the children into, and then, had a bit of it, ate them, put them in the oven while they were there. Well, you can't exactly put children, or adults even, in the oven in The Sims, but what you can do is lure people to your secret hidden basement of doom and keep them there and make them paint or do other, wood carving or other handicrafts for you, and earn the money. So at the moment, what I'm doing is just trying to work out the basics of the cottage. I had an idea in my head, but it kind of wasn't working out, and I get rid of that whole top floor because we don't need that. And it becomes a little more simplified after I get rid of that. So you'll see in just a minute. Yeah, see, hopefully that will be gone. And the cottage itself, I wanted to turn into something that would lure people in. So, come on, just get rid of that top floor. You don't need it. Past L, you don't need it. I was trying to, come up with some cute ideas for roofing and make it, sort of interesting. And in the end, I went, you know what? I don't like that top floor at all. And we came up with something completely different. And the idea, the overall look of it was to be a cute, pretty, almost saccharine sweet style cottage. And I think, and then be at the back is the witch's cottage, or the, I know witches always get all the blame, and it's not always their fault. So I apologise to anybody out there who calls themselves a witch or a Wiccan. It's not your fault. We always get the blame. Sneaky sip of tea. But I wanted to sort of bring that fairy tale, or that fairy tale story, into something where you could turn that into a story for your Sims. So we have the sinister looking cottage at the back, and in the front we have this cute little cottage that everyone will want to be a part of. And it takes me a second to realize that I haven't put my cheats in, so windows weren't going where I wanted them, stuff like that. So we've gone for the cottage at the front is pink and white. Everything is pink and white. You will see when we get inside, it is the overall pink and white theme. There is no upstairs or attic on this front house, but we certainly do, the windows add that little cottagey feel to it, I feel, if you put them up in your on your roof. And you can like with using the porthole windows, you can give it a more nautical feel, and using smaller, or there's a couple of windows that are quite small with bars on them, you can make it feel like, perhaps you've got some children trapped in the attic or something like that. So anyway, this house can sleep 2, 4, 6 Sims with plenty of room to expand. it turns into a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom lot. And I don't know why I was looking at that bush. Maybe bushes were the inspiration at the time. Now, I did do this build a couple of weeks ago, and you know, it's just been sitting there waiting for me to edit. So I apologise for any you know, inconsistencies in my story, because you know, sometimes your grey cells get a bit mature and let you down. So you can see the inside. We've gone for Granny's cottage, but Granny is a lady who likes pink. So everything in here will be pink and white. I've tried to make, you know, with those two little half walls coming through there, it's something a little bit different. It makes an entry hall or an entry divider, and I'm clearly, you know, I've wandered off to get a drink or something here, so my apologies. You know, I'll just juggle or tap dance to entertain you while past me has gone to do something. The two little half walls I thought made cute dividing, cute ways to divide off areas without dividing or putting walls up that close the area in. So you can see we're still going for really super, super pink. Now, a bit of a tip, you can see sometimes curtains clip to windows. They also clip to points on your wall. To counteract that, if you take your window away, put your curtain where it wants to be, because sometimes you want to raise it up or even lower it a little bit, and then put your window back, it will work better for you. So it won't clip to the window as well as your wall. And by holding down your Alt key, you can then free place it. Alright, so we've gone for the real granny furniture. You can see the couches are a little bit ornate, something that you might expect. That TV stand is a little bit modern, but I thought the little children's TV would add to the feeling that we're trying to make it seem like it's completely safe. There's nothing to worry about. Look, we love children here. Do come in. Take a seat in on the beautiful couches or these armchairs. Look, you've got 2 bookcases. Only one bookcase is hiding a sinister secret. So that is the bookcase, obviously, that holds the hidden door. But so I've made that little bookcase in the area, made it look like a reading nook, and somewhere where Granny might sit to read her magazines or have, you know, children come to read storybooks. So in the bedroom, again, we've gone for pink. Granny, whoever lives here, is all about, you know, making it cute. A little bit of a hint at with the sad clown there, a little bit of a hint that things might not be exactly what they seem. So, you know, this room is designed to look like it's for children. There's a tip to put flowers in those baskets. I think they look really cute. And what I do to get things to sit in place on top of surfaces is, as you can see there, I place them on the surface, move the surface, and then move the item, and it will stay at the correct height. So you don't need that the shelf that everybody likes to use, that red shelf. You absolutely can use that shelf, and it can help you with things like the tops of fridges or on the tops of other surfaces that don't have snap points. But it's a way of using or moving your objects appropriately for surfaces. And you can see here double sink, so it looks like it's a little bit luxurious. Look, come and live in Granny's. You'll have all of the things you ever need. But again, very, very it looks like it's directed toward inviting children or younger people in, or perhaps more naive people. And I'm just going to take a quick sip of tea because one should. And some items will sit on the tops of walls. So particularly that one little square plant. I wish we had more things that did, but you can absolutely use them to put items on. And I kind of went with the thing that, if it was in fact just a little old lady that liked children living there, she would probably have a lot of stuff. And I wanted to make it a little more cluttered and a little more on the eccentric side. But now we are going to our secret basement. And this is where I thought you could lure people into. Because we've got 2 beds upstairs, we've gone with 2 single beds downstairs, and they are nothing more than, cots. The rug that's in there is just a very, very half-hearted or offhand attempt to make it more comfortable, but we know it's not really. And this basement has damp, it has, cracks in the walls. It is a really badly maintained basement, but there is plenty of room if you want to put things like your easels or woodworking benches or flower arranging benches or what have you, if you want to put them in there, down in that basement, to keep somebody there to do your dirty work for you. Now, I've put a couple of the things on the walls. They don't even have a fridge down here. They have a cooler and the cheap microwave, so it's going to potentially going to break, and it's not even matching. I've put odd chairs in there, and a few boxes and parcels around. You'll see. Now this is where it gets spooky because we've got the lanterns, the jack-o'-lantern and other stuff that you might expect that would be stored in a basement, but it's not been set out to be comfortable at all. They've just got a camping chair to sit on for their couch. I don't even think I have a television down here. But we've got lots of boxes and baskets and things that you could imagine would have been stored or used to store items down there. Now, one of the things that I've picked up in my building, and you can see it there, is when you resize some items that have shadows, the shadows don't resize as well. So Sims, if you're out there listening, EA or Maxis, if you could have those shadows resize with the items. It happens with some paintings and some mirrors as well. If you could organize for those to be resized at the same time, that would be awesome. So you can see this basement is dismal. It's got a bit of storage there. It's got some crappy old posters on the wall. It's got the stuff that you would expect to see in basements, but not a whole lot else. And the bathroom even is so utilitarian. They have a shower, a toilet, and just a basin hanging off the wall, and there's a lot of moisture damage in the actual bathroom itself. And I put a couple of things on the wall, and you can see them just now in the bedrooms, where I've kind of imagined that somebody might have scrawled some decorations on the wall to try and brighten it up for themselves. And I've used the same one in both, and they're just clouds. It's like somebody's missing the sky. And I forget, I must have saved and relogged for some reason and back to where we were, putting the cheats back in. And lots of those in the hidden objects or the live edit objects, you can see a lot of items that are really helpful for stuff like that, like the big puddles on the wall and the stains on the wall. I think it looks fantastic. So we've got our gorgeous little cottage at the front. We have our basement, and it's just a fairly utilitarian but not well maintained passageway that leads up to our air quotes witch's cottage or scary old lady or creepy old man's cottage at the back. And it would almost count, I'm sure, with the new Tiny Living Pack, this would count as a tiny home if it was just one floor, and I think it would fall under the small home category with the second floor on it. So whoever it is that's living in this back house has all of the comforts of home. They have a kitchen, they have a dining area, they have a bedroom, they have a bathroom. You could absolutely use the basement for your spellcasters. You could absolutely put a pool in your basement if you trapped a mermaid down there or wanted to drown people. Um, and you could absolutely turn this into any kind of let's play that you wanted. You could have some quite creepy stuff going on there. You could have coffins down there to keep your vampires, to produce whatever for you. And I'm just trying to, I think I get rid of some of this extra brickwork across the front in the end, and turn it back to the wood because it looks kind of off to me at the moment. But you can see the cottage at the back is styled in a much older sort of style. It is, and much darker. I'm not going to say danker, but much more old-fashioned. So you expect that whoever's living here is older than the people that have been drawn to the front house. Perhaps a lot older. You can see with the old-fashioned stove and the old-fashioned fridge there. Perhaps they don't have that bright, happy personality. I mean, they have a great kitchen, but they don't, enjoy the brighter side of life like what they are asking people to enjoy in the front part. So, little dining area. Now, there is a double bed. We do put a double bed upstairs, so you do have sleeping for two. Who knows if they want to have guests? You don't just need a a dining table for two, but we absolutely do have a much more old-fashioned feel, I think, here in this back cottage. And I think trying to get a rug to fit in with, we've given a bit of a pop of colour there with the red couches, but I wanted to find a rug that kind of matched. This is the little ensuite bathroom upstairs, clawfoot tub, something more, and more an old-fashioned, more old-fashioned kind of toilet and sink. I feel anyway, and all of the furniture I feel is much less, doesn't feel as new. A bit of a creepy chair cover there with the ghost. And I think, oh gosh, I can hear sirens in the background, so I hope you don't hear that. Here in Australia at the moment, we are in the middle of a heat wave. It is 38 degrees here in Perth today, and it's going to be a similar temperature tomorrow. For those of you who don't measure in Celsius, that is just over the 100 mark. We've been troubled with awful bushfires for the last month or so. So for any of you who like to pray for causes, please send your prayers. If it's just good wishes and strong thoughts, send your thoughts. And look, there goes that clock again. I can't avoid it because whilst have had a break from the fires, this latest heat wave is likely to have them spark up again. So we are still decorating our air quotes witch's cottage, and you can see it's still not as well maintained. She's still got a little bit of he, creepy lady or creepy old man have still got some maintenance issues that need to be taken care of, but clearly their focus is on drawing people into the house at the front, and I'm okay with that. Now, You can also see that the double bed here is only set across the bedroom area is only 3 tiles wide. Your sim can absolutely walk down both sides of that bed. They do not have to be, it does not have to be pushed up against a wall and for them to scoot across. So just a little tip for you. Other things may prevent them from walking down sides and things, but you absolutely can put a double bed on just that 3 tile width area for the bedroom. So yeah. Okay, momentarily distracted by not having switched off my mobile phone. Luckily it was on silent. Now, what do you call phones where you are from? Here we call them mobile phones. Do you call them cell phones? Do you call them something else? I would love to hear. So, if you guys are planning on doing a Let's Play or using this particular house in your game, I would love to hear from you what you do to it, and what you do to the Sims there. Who do you lure to your basement? What do you have them do while you are down there? Because I would be very keen, very, very keen to hear that you've done something with them. And as you can see here, we are now working on the gardens, the landscaping. The trees in the backyard hide or are designed to hide or obscure that little witch's cottage at the back, but not completely. You still, if you're walking past, you'd still see hints of a wall in the background, or you know, see perhaps the top, the little pointed bit of the roof. And I did originally put these cupcakes in here, but they don't work very well when you go into live mode or live mode. So, you know, I don't recommend it, but they are there. I did try, and I'm not sure if I did in the end put a pond in there. I don't think I did. I think we just went with all of these trees. And I left the back open. This back area is mostly open for you because it is somewhere that you could put crop plots or planter boxes to have them, you know, do some gardening. I mean, look, there's ice creams on the front of the house, and look at the, yeah, I got rid of that garden bed because I just didn't want to do anything with it. And you know, cute little topiaries and cute little plant, you know, stuff in the gardens, you know, instead of garden gnomes, which some people find creepy. We've got little toys or little statues of toys in the garden. This house was meant to look really cute and pretty and fun from the front, to lure people to your front door. And oh my goodness me, what could you do with the welcome wagon? Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, what would you do with that welcome wagon? And you know, all kinds of things. And one of my signatures is with those show live edit objects, I always put a little white cat somewhere near the front door, so watch out for that in my builds. See if you can spot it in this one. Do tell me down in the comments if you have spotted it. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget, you can find me on Instagram. I'm very inactive on there. You can find me on Twitter. You can tweet me, or you know, be a twit like I am. I don't know how that really works. And let me know what you thought. I'm happy to hear from you. And look, balloons. You know, this whole house is designed for people to go, oh my gosh, look at this house. We have to go in there and find out what is going on. Somebody, the person who lives here, must love people and children so much. And here is the last step. to your landscaping, but I think the most important is that you should do your terrain painting. It makes things look like they belong, like they, like they're not just sitting on the ground, but they're a part of it. And I think that's the most important thing you can do to make your gardens look realistic is terrain painting underneath. Nothing, lawn doesn't grow underneath plants. So just adding the lot traits, and I think this house is just about done. We are just about to head into the screenshots. I had lots of fun building this, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing this. I have more speed builds coming up, so watch out for them on Sunday night for me, possibly Sunday morning for you. But here we are in the house in all of its pink and frilly and overly done glory. If you haven't already, I hope you will now click subscribe and click that little notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I go live. As I said, hit me up in the comments. If you have a suggestion for a build or a request for a build, then let me know. I will absolutely do builds by request. Coming up, I have a shell challenge. So my next video will be the creation of that shell, and then we will go and look at all of your creations. So I will see you next Sunday for a speed build. Here on the wilder side, wherever you are today, whatever you are doing, I hope it's amazing for you. I will see you then.